49. It's a white male, 5'10", 6 foot, white shirt, blue hat.
Okay, let's go. Hello and welcome to another edition of Behind the Badge. I'm your host, Sergeant Mike Crum with the Berkley Department of Public Safety. We have a full show this month, so let's get started right away with Officer Hatfield and another edition of Kids Rule.
Cyberbullying is a growing trend among today's youth. Cyberbullying is when someone uses the internet or a phone to send a harassing or derogatory comment to make that person feel less about themselves. Cyberbullying is not right, and Michigan schools have addressed that by creating Math Safe School Law, which prevents kids from bullying in that school system. Today at Behind the Badge, we're here to address cyberbullying. Take, for example, our two middle school students, Ashlyn and Amelia. They started as friends, but one rumor has turned them into a fight.
So, Amelia, I heard you were talking bad about me at school today.
What? No, I wasn't.
Well, that's not what I heard, and you're going to pay for this.
But I didn't.
Amelia, I can't believe you said those things about me. I'm going to say some things about you now.
I heard that you're spreading... I wasn't spreading any rumors. What?
I'm going to put your face on this and give you a beard and make you look funny.
Amelia now wants to tell her parents, but she's worried about what to say.
Hey, Mom, I'm having a problem at school.
Okay, what is it?
Well, it's Ashlyn. Well, never mind.
The next day at school, things get worse for Amelia. She thinks everyone's laughing at her. She tries to smile, but the words were just too mean. Ashlyn and Principal H, and I need to speak to you about a concerning matter about you and Amelia. What's going on?
She's been starting rumors about me.
Okay, but you know that you're making posts on the internet and making fun of her using photos, and those are now all around the school. You cannot make fun of someone like that, and the school will not tolerate bullying, especially cyberbullying. You understand?
Yes.
Will you stop that?
Yes.
I appreciate that. No more.
Hey, Amelia.
Hey,
So, I'm really sorry about the things I said and posted on the internet. Can we be friends again?
it's fine.
All right.
Are you guys okay?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Oh, we're fine.
There were some rumors and I said some mean things on the internet
Why would you do something like that?
because I was mad.
We should never post anything on the internet. That's called cyberbullying, and that's not acceptable around here. We got to make sure that as friends, we never post anything mean on the internet, and if we see someone doing it to someone, we make sure we tell them to stop, or we tell an adult. Agreed?
Agreed.
Good job, guys. Cyberbullying is wrong. Make sure that when you send emails, there's nothing harassing or embarrassing that would affect someone down the road. If you send an email or post a picture of someone in a mean way, that is cyberbullying and is not to be tolerated. We want you to remember 3 simple steps, which is stop, block, and tell.
The first step is stop. Wait 5 minutes before you react to any email that makes you upset.
Now block the bully from your buddy list and do not retaliate.
Tell an adult. You do not have to face this alone.
From Berkley, I'm Officer Hatfield with Ashlyn and Amelia, telling you it's okay to stop cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying is a serious issue. If you'd like further information, please contact us at behindthebadge@berkleymish.net. Next, I would like to introduce you to a very special guest who visited our department all the way from Berlin, Germany. Join me in welcoming Robert Thiel. Our next guest is all the way from Berlin, Germany. With us today is Robert Thiel. Hello, Robert, and welcome to Behind the Badge.
Thank you, glad to be here.
Robert, tell us what you're doing here in America.
I'm doing an internship on the Berkley Police Department. That's a part of my trainee for the Berlin Police Force in Germany.
And who do you work for in Germany?
I work for the superintendent of the Berlin Police Force. So I'm a trainee, and I have to be here to finish this trainee to be a police officer in Berlin.
So part of your training is a foreign internship.
Right.
And you picked Berkley, Michigan.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit of why you picked Berkley?
I can pick a few countries, but I took the United States and especially Berkeley because my family have a relationship to the family of the chief from the Berkeley Police Department.
To our chief, Chief Eshman,
Yeah, right.
you have a family relationship
Right.
through the family.
Right.
Excellent. Now, Robert, you've been here in America. What do you think of our country?
Oh, first time I was here, I saw a lot of difference, but I think it's surprising how similar the communities are. So the location from the country is different,
Sure.
very different. It's a long range between the countries, but the culture is the same.
Excellent. You're a police officer in
Right.
Germany, trainee.
Right.
Correct. Why did you want to be a police officer?
So because of traditional reasons, my grand-grandfather was a policeman too at the cavalry
Okay.
in the old German country, now it's Poland. And my grandfather was a policeman too in Berlin City for the cavalry too.
Okay.
And my father is a firefighter in Berlin, retired firefighter. But you see, we have a tradition of serving the state, the community. So it was my pleasure to follow this tradition and to serve the community.
That's a lengthy tradition. You have a
Right.
great-grandfather, a grandfather,
Right.
a father, and now yourself, all
Right.
serving as in the public service,
Right.
police, or the fire. That's excellent. You said that you are also a firefighter.
Right, I grown up with the fire department because I told you my father is a retired fireman.
Yes.
So it was not difficult to take the decision to get a voluntary firefighter in Berlin
Okay.
because so I can do both jobs,
Both the fire job
right?
and the police job.
Right,
So you'll be trained in both jobs.
right,
Just as we are here in the city of Berkeley with the public safety.
right.
Excellent, excellent. Tell us a little bit about your training. I was surprised when we talked earlier, the length of your training, how long the training is. Can you tell us a little bit about that training?
So the training is 3 years long, and we are study at the university, the School of Economy and Law in Berlin,
Okay.
and it's for the higher service.
Okay.
So we have a different rank system like you,
Okay.
and if you want to be a police officer in the higher service, you have to study on the university. You get a diploma and get your right rank and not the silver stripe. You
Okay.
get a star. And yeah, so I was at the school now for 2.5 years. We have different lessons like criminalistic and like civil law.
Okay.
Yeah, and a few more.
And you said that you went 2.5 years right now, and then the internship, of course,
Right.
in our service. You described a higher service. What is that equivalent to our country? You and I discussed earlier about how you can go to school and go on the street, or you can
Yeah.
go on the school and be a higher service. Can you define higher service, or tell us what that is?
So I told you that the rank system is different than yours. We're also high ranked in the higher service.
Okay.
So our higher service starts at the American rank in the US Army, second lieutenant.
Okay.
So compared with the American police, it's lieutenant. We don't have the responsibility of a lieutenant when we start our career.
Sure.
We only have the rank. So in Germany, you get the functions of the person,
Yeah.
not with your rank only.
So
So-
you'll start out as a equivalent to American Army as a second
lieutenant.
lieutenant.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have to work on the street too, but you can work in staff, or you can work in the right battalion. So
Okay.
you can choose.
So
But
when you come in,
first
you can.
thing I think I will start my work at the street on the police department in the city.
The road patrol,
Right.
what we call road patrol,
Right.
you'll start there. But you have several options. You can do administration,
Right.
you can do road patrol, riot battalion, and you also said CID, correct?
Yet the CID is another part of trainee. So we have two ways of training in this university.
Okay.
One path, one way is for the uniform police, so the normal police service, and the other way is for the CID. So you have to decide what you want to do.
Okay. Now you brought some additional uniforms. You have your what we call Class A or our dress uniform on. And we like that uniform, and I like that uniform anyway, but we were talking about
Thanks.
earlier. You also have your street uniform, or what you would wear on road patrol. Can you describe a little bit of the uniform and what we see right here in the patches?
Okay. That's the coat of arms from the Berlin Police Force.
Okay.
It's the Berlin Bear
Okay.
and a crown for the capital city. And you have the letters, the word police in German.
Okay.
And there you have the German flag, so black, red, and gold.
Okay.
Yeah. And the shirt, and of the other side of the jacket too, you have the rank. So it's like this stripe here, it's the same.
Okay.
And if you get promoted, you can
Just replace them.
change. Yeah, replace it, yeah.
Excellent.
So
It
that's all.
functions well. Your coat of arms and your flag is on your left arm,
Right.
and then your rank is on your right.
Right.
Correct? Okay. Very good. We have your badge,
Right.
and we were comparing badges when you were here. Of course, I like your badge, and you were saying you like our badge.
Right.
Can you show us your badge you have up there?
Oh, the badge is like the coat of arms. It's the Berlin Bear and the crown, and you have the police star around the coat of arms. So yeah, that's
Excellent.
all. And it only works with the personal identity card for police officers.
Sure, sure. Now, Robert, earlier we were discussing the size of Berlin, the city that you'll be a police officer in. Can you tell us how big is the city of Berlin?
Oh, the city of Berlin is 3 times bigger than Detroit. Yeah.
And the population, how many people are in the city of Berlin?
The population of Berlin is 3.5 million people. So it's a very big city in Germany.
And how many police officers does the city of Berlin have?
The city of Berlin have 16,000 police officers in the Berlin Police Department.
So there's 16,000
16,000.
police. It's a very big city,
Right.
large area,
Right.
and a lot of police officers.
Right.
And when will you graduate and become a full-fledged police officer?
Oh, in December of this year.
December of 2012,
Yeah, right.
your training will be complete,
Right.
and you'll be on the streets of Berlin.
Right.
Excellent. Now, Robert, you've been here doing your internship in America. Can you tell us some of the things you've done since you've been here?
Oh, since I've been here, I worked on the Berkeley Police Department, so patrol on the streets,
Yep.
road patrol. And I saw a lot of CAD work with detectives. So,
The CID work is the Detective Bureau when you were with me, right?
yeah, right.
Okay, all
You
right.
show me a lot of things. You
Okay.
showed, yeah. And I also was in the court
The court over here.
over here, yes, and looked what the judge is doing. And next weekend I will be in Detroit and take a look in a night shift. And
You'll patrol Detroit for the
Yeah.
bigger city and see
Right.
how they patrol compared to your city.
right.
Very good, very good. What do you think of our court? What's the difference between, does your judge wear the same outfit? Is the court set up the same?
Yeah, it looks very similar, but
Okay.
the system is very different. So you as a detective have to promote to show your case in front of the court.
Okay.
No detective in Germany will do that. It's the job from the prosecutor.
Okay.
So you do more in front of the court than we do it in Germany.
You can tell my boss that I do more work than
No.
the German police?
Maybe.
That'd be good, thank you. Well, Robert, it's been my pleasure to have you on our show. Thank you so much for being our guest on Behind the Badge.
Thank you, it was my pleasure.
Excellent. That's Robert Thiel. He's a Berlin police officer. Officer Dennis Geary will join us next to discuss a very important topic to all of our community, but especially our senior citizens.
Hello, I'm Public Safety Officer Geary here to talk about senior citizen safety. As a senior citizen, the chances of becoming a victim of crime increases dramatically. We have talked on this show in the past about phone scams and internet scams, but that's not what I would like to cover today. Today, we're going to talk about safety in your homes. You should never open your door to anyone unless you are absolutely sure they are there for a legitimate reason. There are numerous ways you can confirm that the person knocking on your door has good reason to be there. The person should always have some form of identification on them, and for the most part be in some type of uniform, identifying themselves and the company they work for. If you don't see any of these things, don't open the door. You can ask through the door to see identification. If they fail to provide you with identification, try to get their company name and telephone number and call the company to verify their legitimacy. And of course, you can always call your police department to come out and check on who exactly is knocking on your door. The best thing you can do in a situation where an individual is knocking on your door is to not be too trusting and keep your guard up. An individual who is there for a legitimate reason should be more than willing to take their time and show you the proper identification required. Just like you tell children, don't open the door for strangers.
Did you know the Berkley Public Safety Department hosts an annual golf outing? If you're interested, check out our commercial with Officer Hatfield.
As the warm weather begins to approach, some of us think of vacation, swimming in pools, hot dogs, 4th of July, and a great time during the spring and summer. Some of us think of golf. Here at Berkley Public Safety, we invite you to our 4th annual Public Relations Golf Outing, sponsored by Lee. This year's event will be back at Rackham, the place we've all grown to know and love as our local golf course. It's our own little slice of green heaven. From rolling fairways to greens smooth as glass, we invite you to join us here on Saturday, May 19th at 8:30 a.m. The golf outing helps support our Lids for Kids bicycle safety event in June and Fire Open House in October that all are welcome to. These events are not possible, though, without your support for our golf outing. If you would like to donate as a resident or a business member, contact the Berkley Police Department by April 20th, 2012. If you're into golfing, spots are open but are limited to the first 144 golfers, and we do fill up fast. Go to berkleymish.net for details or contact the Berkley Police Department. We will have a fun, exciting day and hope to see you all there. Again, the outing is Saturday, May 19th at Rackham Golf Course in Huntington Woods.
Each segment, I like to introduce our community to a different member of their public safety department. It brings me great pleasure to introduce our newest public safety member, firefighter Scott Smith. With me today is Berkley's newest firefighter, Scott Smith. Hello, Scott, and welcome to Behind the Badge.
Sergeant Crum, thanks for having me here.
Scott, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Well, Mike, I'm married. Been married for 16 years. Live in Oak Park, so I'm a close by resident. I have 2 children. One's 11, the other one's 14. Boy and a girl. Girl's the oldest. They keep me busy, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Scott, when did you start with the city of Berkley?
Mike, I started last year. July 25th was my first day.
Okay.
Came on board and very excited about it.
What's your current role with the city of Berkley?
Currently, I'm a firefighter. Also, I do some of the medical calls as well. Also, I'm a certified paramedic. Also, I'm a desk officer where I do booking, desk reports, and just some station duties here and there. So
Okay.
it's really great.
You said you're a paramedic.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us about the paramedic, or when you became a paramedic?
Well, what led to being a paramedic was my career in firefighting.
Okay.
It was kind of a late start, but once I got my foot in the door, that allowed me to pursue the area of public safety.
Okay.
Became a firefighter in 1997.
All right.
Started working with the city of Huntington Woods as a paid-on-call firefighter. Been there, still currently there as well. Thankfully, 2 cities still allow me to be within in both.
To do both. Okay.
Yes. Actually, I became a president 2 years ago of the volunteer firefighter company, and still currently the president. Hopefully that's, not hopefully, but it's going to change here shortly.
Okay. All right.
Because I've got a lot of things on my plate right now and just, trying to settle out just a little bit, but I still enjoy it.
Tell us when you got involved in the fire service.
Okay. In 2007, I got a late start, but I went to OCC through their fire academy. From that point, I became a paid-on-call firefighter with the city of Huntington Woods,
Okay.
which I'm still currently involved with. Currently the president of the volunteer firefighting company. Been that for the past 2 years.
Okay. And where did the fire service lead you?
Fire service led me to also become a EMT and paramedic. EMT first, obviously, transitioned right into paramedic school, where I graduated in 2009.
Okay.
Officially got my license in 2010, where I started working full-time with Alliance Mobile Health as a paramedic.
And that's who does our paramedic service here in the city of Berkley?
Yes, that's correct.
Transportation is Alliance.
Right, they cover Southeast Oakland County.
And I know that's the first time I met you was through Alliance. We
Yes.
saw you as a paramedic through Alliance and then a firefighter through the city of Huntington Woods.
That's correct.
You came to Berkley in July. The current service, or the current position is a firefighter. And what do we see in the future?
In the future, I definitely want to go through the police academy. This is something I've always wanted to do.
To be public safety.
Public safety, yes.
Excellent. Okay.
I see a great need for it, and it gives me a chance to do all the jobs that I enjoy. So that's something, the next thing that's on my plate.
Scott, earlier in our segment, you said you got a late start into this field. What were you doing prior to public service?
I was a full-time mechanic. Had been doing that since 1986 in the family business, basically in the role of operator, manager, and owner.
Where's the family business at?
That's in Detroit, on the east side of Detroit, 7 Mile and DeQuinder.
Okay. And is it still open?
It's still open.
And run by?
Actually, my father's there right now, full-time. Being that I'm here full-time now, I had to kind of take a step back and take a few things off my plate just to pursue my career in public safety.
And I met your father when I was doing your background investigation to
That's
come in
correct.
here. And how old is your father?
He's actually 80 years old right now.
80-year-old, still working full-time.
Still working.
That's excellent. That's
Keeps him busy, yes, definitely.
And so you still work down at the family business?
Yes,
on
still
your
popping
time off here?
from time to time, yes.
And you work for the city of Berkley full-time?
Yes.
And you still work for Alliance Mobile Health when available?
Contingent, yes.
So you said you had a full plate, and I understand it's a very full plate.
Yes.
Married with children as well.
Exactly.
Well, Scott, you're an excellent addition to the city of Berkley. We're very happy to have you.
Okay.
We're very happy to see your career progress. We hope to see you go through the police academy and stay with us for a long time.
I'm very happy to be here. I really enjoy it.
Well, thank you for being my guest on Behind the Badge.
Thank you, Mike.
As a parent, I know my children's health is very important. Officer Justin Frost, the EMS coordinator for the city of Berkley, will discuss a very important topic all of us parents and grandparents should know.
1 out of 25 children between the ages of 6 months and 5 years have febrile seizures. Febrile seizures are convulsions brought on by fever. During a seizure, it's common for the child to lose consciousness and start shaking. Most seizures last about a minute or two, but some can be as brief as just a few seconds. It may be possible for the seizure to last longer than 15 minutes. An infant or child should be seen by a doctor immediately if the seizure lasts longer than 10 minutes. Febrile seizures can be frightening to a parent, but with some basic care and observations, hopefully you can be more prepared as a parent if this occurs in your family. On Sunday, March 4th, 2012, Berkley Police received a 911 call from a Berkley resident. The mother of her 1-year-old reported that her daughter had been running a high fever and was having a seizure.
I'd been sick for about 3 weeks, and they diagnosed myself with bronchitis. So then, and she had a runny nose. A couple weeks, was it a week before that? It was about a week before that. She had had a fever of like 101. Called the doctor. No worries, you're fine. Saw the doctor the day before. No issues. Okay, fine. Put her to bed. She was fine. Woke up the next day. A little clingy on the Saturday before, but no big deal. And then she went back to her normal self. And then it was that Sunday morning. I woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning to hearing her on the monitor like making this grunting noise. And I went in there and she was face down, and all 4 extremities were convulsing. So then I rubbed her back and nothing. I picked her up and she just went limp. And her lips went blue, her eyes rolled in the back of the head. And then I screamed for him and we called 911. And that's when they came to the house. It felt like 30 seconds had gone by and everyone was here.
It was literally a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it was great. And then went to the hospital, emergency room, stayed there for 4 hours. While she was there, her temperature dropped to like below normal and then spiked back up to 101. They said that at that point they could call it a febrile seizure. Sent us home with Motrin, said there's no way to prevent it. Okay, she was fine, fell asleep, took a nap, took a bath, ate, fine, had dinner, and then about 11:30 that night, she laid on the bed with me and she like something had scared her, like she jumped, and then she just went stiff as a board. Called 911 again and went back to the hospital. And that was when they said, okay, we're gonna admit you. Okay, got up to the pediatric floor, it was 3:45 in the morning. And she had another seizure right in front of everybody, which was good. And they gave her Ativan to help stop the seizure. And then we stayed in the hospital for 2 days. And then when they discharged us, this is what she's been like. She's been fine. Yep. Febrile seizures can go as long as an hour, they said. And then that's when you start getting worried that there's permanent damage. But she had an EEG in the hospital, and that was all normal. she they said there were studies done that if you give them Tylenol and Motrin at the first sign of a fever or a cold, that'll help bring it down, but it won't ever prevent it.
Yeah, she's prone to it, and if it happens again, it happens. They told us. They told us that, I mean, if it does happen again, to kind of put her on her side, and then keep track of how long it is, and then if she stops breathing, to, you know, of course, call 911. I think the scariest part about it was when her lips turned blue. It didn't look like she was getting oxygen. It didn't last for very long. In fact, when the officer got here, he said she had good color. But for, you know, it seemed like a minute, but it was probably like 30 seconds. Her lips were blue and she wasn't getting any oxygen. But that didn't last very long, thank God. I had experience with it before. You know, I don't think 99% of people who experience this are going to know it's a febrile seizure. So they're going to probably, I mean, rightfully think it's probably something much more serious. So, I mean, if you know it's a febrile seizure, you can react differently. But if not, you know, the best thing to do is, you know, call 911 immediately.
Any child can have febrile seizures. It's most common between the ages of 6 months and 5 years. And then also, if there's a family history of febrile seizures, it makes it more likely to happen again. Most febrile seizures are very scary, but relatively harmless. Kids are only really likely to get injured if they fall and hit themselves, choke on something, get tangled in clothing. In general, they're scary but harmless. If you see a child having a febrile seizure, the most important thing to do is get them to a safe place where they can't fall and hurt themselves and move them away from objects. Other than that, look at your watch and make sure the febrile seizure doesn't last any longer than 5 or 10 minutes. Remain calm, absolutely. Seizures are scary, but there's really nothing you can do to help until the seizure's over. So just remain calm and keep an eye out for your child. If the child already has something in their mouth, remove it if you can do that safely. Be careful not to get bitten, but don't put anything in their mouth. No old wives' tales about spoons in the mouth. Even if you think a seizure was caused by a fever, it's important to get your child looked at because a doctor needs to determine the real reason. It could be something minor, and if it was a mild seizure, then seeing them at the pediatrician could be just fine. However, if it was a long seizure, if they have a history of repeated seizures, or if the seizure lasts for a very long time, we need to get them seen at the ER very quickly so we can find out what caused it. Even though it's pretty easy to treat the seizure, they last a short time and then they go away, we haven't fixed the real cause of what caused the seizure. So we need to treat the child for the fever or the illness or whatever brought on the seizure.
I hope you enjoyed our newest edition of Behind the Badge. Don't forget our annual golf outing on May 19th at Rackham Golf Course. We still have openings and would love to see you there. If you have any questions about our program or have a segment you'd like to see us cover, please contact us via Facebook or by email at behindthebadge@berkleymich.net. I'm Sergeant Chrome, and I will see you next time on Behind the Badge.